Hello class, my name is Christopher Rockwell and this is my Project 3 video review for AOC 1304. This week is very exciting for me. I really love working with functions and methods and objects, things that require a more logical approach. That's kind of something I was kind of waiting to get to in Objective-C because, it's just so different. I'm like so surprised at how different it is from C++. But yet different, still the same concepts, it's just different syntax. Speaking of syntax, one thing I kind of had a little bit of trouble wrapping my mind around was the fact that it's different. The parameters are different. Like, let's look at this bool down here to compare. An Objective-C or any other programming language, the way you would take in parameters or anything, any kind of data, it would be identical. Like this int num1 would be followed by probably a comma and another int num2. Whereas this is a little bit different because you send the int num1 right here, and then the num2 you declare the num2, and then you send the int num2, which I'm still trying to work out in my mind. Okay, is it separate, the compare, and then the num2? I mean, I know this is the name of the function, but it seems as though this could be the name of the function as well. Just judging by, like, somebody came in and didn't really know the syntax, they would come in and say, okay, it's two different names, it's compare and then num2. So that's kind of something I kind of did some more research on, and I pretty much got a little bit of clarification with it, but it's just a little different to me. But other than that, I mean, I pretty much had little to no problems as far as the syntax, but I did have some problems with the okay, after I took the sum, in which it pulls from the add function and sends it two values, and then I had to turn it into ns number. Then I turned the number into a string, but down here when I had to make the display alert with string call, I couldn't just send it this right here because my string num wasn't working properly. It like basically didn't have anything there. I had to end up putting this ns string with format thing before it to even really just get a value. From here, when I take the value here, it pretty much was like non-existent for some reason. I did some research and it said something about this string num is not a literal value or something like that. So I had to put this right here. I'm still trying to figure out, do some research just for my just for future references of why it's actually doing that. But this was pretty straightforward. I mean, the videos were so helpful on the syntax, and also the screencast. They helped me out. Kind of going back and looking at, the coding part of it. But I pretty much did everything in sequential order. The pen string, as the direction said, I pretty much did it in that order. The pen string, and then I set all my variables, cast that to ns number, the int into the ns number, the ns string, to make that ns number a string, and then I displayed that out to the alert, and then I started on sending it and doing my compare. Now, one thing I did have to change about my compare and the way I did it was at first I was trying to take the easy way out and come down here in the if, and then compare the num1 and num2, and then display, if yes, or if these two are equal, then display the alert. But I kind of looked at it as, just somebody doing a job. Like, you wouldn't really need to return the yes or no because you're not really needing it, because it's just if right here. So if I was putting it right there, then it would make the return yes irrelevant pretty much, and I wouldn't be calling it. I wouldn't really need to call it to really display that alert. So I went in and made myself change that around to do an if up here, and then set the variables the way you can compare it outside the function while sending it to the function, and then if it's yes, then I display with string, the alert with string. And then as I go on down, I have my add function, my compare, and then the append. The append was a lot of fun. I kind of was looking at that as one of the harder things to do, but surprisingly it really wasn't, due to us already really learning about the ns mutable strings, and they really stuck with me quite a bit. And then the display alert with strings. That's pretty neat on how simple that really was and how straight to the point. I did take some Visual Basic here locally, and that reminds me a lot. The structure reminds me a lot of Visual Basic. We was working with like Windows alerts and in Windows and pop-ups and stuff like that, and it pretty much was English based like this. Cancel button title. It was basically just like this. And I'm kind of thankful I took that class because it's made a whole lot of sense to me. But I really enjoyed this week, and let me go through and show an actual working view of my app. Let me share my iPad screen real quick using Air Server. I love this app. Okay, let's get out of this. And okay, as you see, I'm running to Christopher's iPad. Let me run it. One thing I really tried to do though was try to fix that problem of the alerts skipping, like 2 alerts and then getting to the end and then going back to the first 2. Try to find a timer, but hopefully we'll get to that because I really want to figure out how to fix that for future references. As you can see here, this is my compare function. 23 and 23 are equal. The number is 15, which is the add function. Then you have I love 2. As you can see here in my code, the 2 strings I sent was string 1 was I love 2, and then string 2 was append strings. So that's what I chose to send over here. I'll hit OK on that, and that pretty much wraps it up. Hope y'all enjoyed this week as much as I have and learned the material as well as I did. I really enjoyed this, and y'all have a great day. Talk to you later.